I feel like most people have Stockholm Syndrome when it comes to the Federal Reserve pivoting, and now they're going to start lowering interest rates. And we have to talk about how the Middle East is ratcheting up on the escalation ladder. A lot of things are going on, and now some of them are going to be affecting you directly.
I gotta hand it to you, Peter. More than ever, I'm starting to see your vision of what's happening. You and your team have been a wealth of information. Signed, The Advocate.
The Iranian-backed group controls much of northern Yemen. For weeks, they've targeted ships in the Red Sea they believe have links with Israel or are headed to Israeli ports.
I think there's more risk here than people are letting on, and they're also cheering Jerome Powell for now lowering rates, taking the pressure off. But they are the ones, the Federal Reserve, they're the ones who cause a problem in the first place. Did you guys know that you can help us get our message out to more like-minded people like us? Simply click like on the video. We'd greatly appreciate it, and we ask you to do that. You guys are the best. We love you. Whether you're seeing Stockholm Syndrome or it's just investor complacency, which is there's tremendous complacency right now. And I always tell you guys that high complacency is when you have to be more cautious. When complacency is really low, that's when people are more demanding about what they're investing in, the values that they're paying for things. It's a lot safer to invest in a low complacency environment. Most major stock market crashes happen when complacency gets extremely high. One of the ways you can measure complacency is you look at the VIX, the volatility index. And you can't trade the VIX. It's not like a stock. It's an indicator or an output of the amount of negative options buying, put options. But when it gets low, that means that investors are more complacent. Less people have risks or fears that things are going to get worse. Right now, the VIX is down to about 12, which is a very historically low level. And at the same time, the stock market, S&P 500, has been trading really well. So it's gone up while the VIX went down. The divergence, the difference between the complacency and the actual value of stocks, the overvaluation of stocks, is incredibly wide right now. This is when you need to be super cautious because no one has their eye on the ball. Everybody's looking at Christmas. They're wondering if Donald Trump's going to go to jail. They're all looking at the things going on in Israel, a lot of the war in Ukraine. There's so much going on right now. Holidays are coming up. Nobody's paying attention. No one is worried about anything. This is when I start to get a little bit more nervous. You should as well. And this does not mean there's going to be a stock market crash. I'm saying I don't trust this market. And right now, indicators are showing you that retail investors aren't really too concerned about anything. And that's often when something goes wrong, in my opinion, and based on historical precedents.
Vessels in the Red Sea came under attack from Houthi fighters in Yemen. The Houthis say they're going to continue their attacks if Israel doesn't stop its war on Gaza.
If you get taken hostage and you develop a psychological bond with your captor over time, then that is Stockholm Syndrome. And that's why I say I feel like people have Stockholm Syndrome in terms of it was Jerome Powell who caused the problems. Not him specifically, but the Federal Reserve, which he is the chairman of right now. They caused the problem. They caused the inflation. They caused the debasement of the currency. They set their house on fire. Then now they're putting the fire out. He says, okay, we're going to take the rates down a little bit next year. It gave the implication that that was what's going to happen. They always keep it open-ended that anything could happen. But the widely believed assumption is that rates are going to come down 2 or 3, 4 times next year. And now a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people are cheering this guy on, thinking that he's saving the economy, that he's helping us.
And because the Red Sea is one of the world's most important shipping routes, the effect has been huge. It's caused an 80% drop in shipping activity at Eilat. Insurance prices on cargo heading to Israel have risen by 300%, and with around 12% of global trade passing through the Red Sea, it has regional and global implications.
I can't think of a time since this war broke out in the Middle East, all the chaos happened, that things have calmed down at all. They just get worse, and they get worse, and they get worse. Things are heating up again, even more, and it's affecting things besides the things that matter, such as life. It's affecting other things too that are going to affect everybody worldwide in terms of the prices of things like risk assets like gold, in terms of oil prices because there's a risk premium because there's so much chaos going on in the Middle East where most oil comes from.
Israel is being attacked on multiple fronts, not just from the Gaza Strip by Hamas, but also from further along the coast on the border with Lebanon by the Iranian-backed group Hezbollah.
And the latest is that the Houthi rebels in Yemen are shooting at and boarding, even taking over some ships in the Red Sea, which is requiring a lot more involvement from U.S. military assets. But also another thing is happening, a follow-on effect. There's a lot of ships right now, and a huge portion, and I'll show you guys in this video, a huge portion of certain portions of the economy go through the Red Sea. Now, there's a lot of shipping companies that are going around the Red Sea, which means they're going around the south tip of Africa. They're adding so much time and cost to the trip.
Experts say costs of shipping goods are already rising, and several major shipping companies have pulled their ships from the Red Sea altogether, raising costs and lengthening delivery times.
Meanwhile, Hezbollah in Lebanon has done nothing except for continually try to inflame tensions, to shoot more missiles into Israel, even sending drones towards American troops. I don't see yet how this conflict is going to ever calm down. I think it's going to get a lot worse before it ever gets better. It's going to have effects on prices of all sorts of things, and there's going to be a lot of supply constraints, which that also can add to the cost, but it also means that it's difficult to even get a thing regardless of the price it's at. I discuss this in my book, Up.THINKING, quite a bit actually.
The Israeli Navy is too small to deal alone with the threat.
The US says it's working with maritime forces to bolster security in the region, a reminder that Israel's war on Gaza is making its impact felt far beyond the Middle East.
And we've got a great sub $1 stock pick coming up for you guys, for anybody who's a subscriber of the Peter Leeds newsletter. And I'm always going to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out, and it's going to really help you out too, I believe.